What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Total Sport, and today we've got something very special for you. We're rejoined by a previous guest, a guy who we really loved having on, Mr. Jordan Brown. How are you, mate?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It is just before Christmas time when we're recording this, so it's all nice and fun, and we're going to be doing something really fun, which is a professional striker, which is Jordan, ranking professional strikers. So we've got 5 tiers, which is very apt for today's society, especially in this country. So we've got GOAT, we've got lethal, we've got decent, average, and Naff. But we have 23 strikers here, and Jordan is not allowed to put more than 5 in one tier. So at least 3 of them are going in Naff. And I'll tell you, Jordan, there's some good players in here, mate. So striker number 1 is a man who currently is one of the top scorers in the Premier League. It's Mr. Jamie Vardy. Now, I haven't even given you a scope of the sort of players that we put in this tier list. So it's going to be fun. So first off, thoughts on Jamie Vardy as a player?
Yeah, very consistent. That's someone I can call one of, if not the most consistent striker in the Premier League. So I would say Jamie Vardy is 1 in a million in terms of his whole journey, in terms of what he's doing at this age. He's still quick as lightning.
For Jamie Vardy, GOAT, lethal, decent, average, or meh?
I got to put him in GOAT.
You put him in GOAT, blimey.
I got to put him in GOAT. Just I'm not saying this season, but based on even the other Premier League players, or the Premier League strikers, should I say, that are going to be in this list, I think no one can really top what he's done already, other than Kane and Aguero, obviously, as well. So I would say he's got to be in the top tier. He's got to be in the GOAT category.
Definitely, mate. Well, I'm going to throw a curveball in here now, mate. So what we've got is a player from the past. We've got Mr. Andrew Cole.
Whoa, I didn't know. No.
This is why. Is there going to be some manoeuvring already?
I didn't know. We're going to have to come back to that one. But now I know.
Now you know. So
Andy Cole. Oh, this is going to be harder than I thought. He's lethal. He's got to go in lethal. Yeah, he's got to go in lethal. His goal record, I think the amount of years that he was playing, especially at the top level as well, and for Man United, wasn't that long, compared to all the other strikers. He obviously played for other clubs other than Man United, but I mean, like, at the very top, Champions League winner and stuff, he wasn't playing for Man United for that many years. So for what he did in that short space of time and that many goals, I would say he's lethal.
He was ridiculous
for the others, but he's lethal.
He was ridiculous, wasn't he? Like, I think he's still got the record for the most goals in a 42-game season. Mo Salah's obviously the 38-game season, but unreal. And talking of Mo Salah, we're going to go to Mo Salah. Okay. What are we saying for him?
I would put him in decent. I would say his goals is a big part of his game, and I would say the fact that he does contribute so much. You do have to rate what he does. It's nothing more than that. But in terms of like other things, accumulated, would I say is he the best player in his team? Me personally, I would say no. I would say I prefer Mane over Salah as a team player, also as an individual player. So I would say I'd put him in decent, just knowing some of the players who are going to come.
It's going to be fun. So we're gonna go to another player who no longer plays, and another one who formerly played for Man United, Mr. Dwight York. So what you part of that lethal Man United strike force in '99. It's horrible, isn't it? Isn't it horrible? I'm putting you through torture here, Jordan.
I think he's got to go in average. I think his strike force with Andy Cole one of, if not the best in the Premier League. He was a big part of that, you know. He was someone where he could pretty much do everything as a striker. Very intelligent as well, which he doesn't get rated a lot. But as a lethal striker, see, you're saying like words like lethal, GOAT. He wasn't the GOAT. Sorry, he wasn't lethal like compared to the rest. Decent, yeah, obviously that is words that I think is a bit harsh on him, but just for the sake of this game, I'm gonna say average.
You can see the pain in your eyes, Jordan. So we're gonna go next to someone who's, well, another former Man United player, but also a former Liverpool player, Michael Owen. A player who funny story, is I was named after. My middle name is Owen. So what about Michael Owen? I mean, I've experienced well, I didn't experience it as such, but I've experienced it posthumously. How much of an impact he made on Liverpool. It wasn't so much on Man United, but yeah. What were your thoughts on Michael Owen?
I feel like he was something that, you know, came and went with the wind type of thing. A moment in time where he was just amazing. Ballon d'Or winner, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. Yeah.
You know, such a talent. His story and his career is just two parts. So if I gotta rank it and like kind of bring it in the middle, I'm gonna go with decent.
We're going to go next to another Man United player, because that's what we'll do. We're going to connect these together. We're going to go one with more in the modern day, Mr. Robin van Persie. Now, never, and I'll tell you, this is another personal anecdote. I went to see one game, Liverpool versus Arsenal 2012. Van Persie's in his prime at this point. I was 10 at the time. Van Persie tore us apart, and it was frightening because we were right at the top and we could see him literally just... Oh my God, he was unbelievable. Oh, again, he went to Man United after that, and he was insane again. So what do we think for Robin van Persie in terms of this list?
Oh, you're killing me, man. You're killing me. Another amazing striker. Again, riddled with a lot of injuries in his career. We would have saw even greater than we can even imagine. Of his potential, what he could have been. Left foot, amazing. And even right foot, unbelievable technique on that right foot as well. So I'm going to go, because I know where I'm going to move Jamie Vardy now.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go decent. So I'm going to leave a lot of room at the top.
So we'll go to Jamie Vardy now if you want. Where are you going to put Jamie Vardy?
Yeah, I'm going to put Jamie Vardy in... Listen, guys. I thought it was Premier League greats. Premier League players now, strikers now. I didn't know it was Premier League greats. So Jamie Vardy will go down as a GOAT in the Premier League. But I'm going to move him to... Average is the fourth one, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to move him to average.
We're going to go to another one who's been in the Premier League. He was in the Premier League for a shorter time, but made a very big impact. Luis Suarez. Ridiculous on his day as a Liverpool fan. I mean, definitely the best individual player I've ever seen.
Some of the goals this guy scored and the amount of goals in games he scored as well. It was something that him as a player, as a striker, I don't even think anyone can ever emulate that ever again. You know, in terms of the style of striker he actually is. What is he? Is he? I would say he's like a number 10. He's like a number 9. He's a 9.5. He can also, you know, play with a big man. He can play by himself. He can play a bit like wider. You know, it's crazy. I think he's got to go in the second tier lethal.
Unreal. We're going to go to another current player now, Harry Kane. on his way to becoming one of the top scorers in the Premier League. He's already got God knows how many goals, mate. So Harry Kane.
Actually, I'll tell you a funny story. First time I'm telling this story. So I used to go to like a restaurant. I used to know the owner and everything. So I used to go there when I was younger, and like it used to be a spot for, you know, you see certain footballers come in and out of there. And I was with Francis Coquelin, and we were having some food, and this is the time where Harry Kane just had it was either his first season or second season. Can't really remember which one it was. Obviously, Francis Coquelin, you know, ex-Arsenal player. I believe he's an Arsenal fan. Probably hates Tottenham, you know. And, you know, he was very passionate about the fact that, no, he's going to be a one-season wonder. And I'm telling you, he's not going to do it again. And I was in Harry Kane's corner. I was backing him. I was saying, you know what? I think he just has something about him. I feel like, you know, he's gonna do it for more seasons to come. And I don't think he's going to die out. I think at the time, I think his first season was something ridiculous. It was like 25 or something for first season. He just needs to win a trophy, especially a Premier League. Then I'll call him in the GOAT category. But just for that, I'm going to say the one underneath.
We're going to go lethal, Harry Kane. We're going to go to Dimitar Berbatov.
Okay.
Very, very unique striker, I remember. And one that I really hated facing as a Liverpool fan. I remember he scored a hat-trick against us.
First things first, that was a relief for me because, you know, I feel like he is someone where I won't get slated for putting in the bottom tier. So I would say thanks for that one. But no, in all seriousness, he was someone who had some of the most talent in football in, I would even say, history in terms of what he could do with the ball. Was he instrumental to what Man United were doing? Yeah, I would give him credit because he added to like the 4-striker thing during that time with him, Tevez, Rooney, and Ronaldo. Yeah, I would say Naff, you know, just for those reasons. But amazing footballer and so good to watch.
He was, definitely. Robbie Fowler.
Left foot, amazing. You know, the finishes, all types of finishes, dinks, smashing it, driving it, placing it, curling it, every type of finish. His in-game play, I'm not really too remembrant of.
Yeah.
Remember it too much. So that's something that I would kind of knock a point off for him. But around the box, you know, lethal striker. So I would, just by the names being in the lethal section, I would say Robbie Fowler has to go in that as well.
We're going to go to Alan Shearer. I mean, what can you say about Alan Shearer? He's the top scorer in the Premier League ever.
He was someone where probably in his environment, he was rated from what I read, but from the exterior, you know, they didn't think he would be the guy to be the Premier League goal scorer record. He, likewise with Robbie Fowler, like I just said, around the box, amazing. If you had a one-on-one, I would probably bet most of my money for Alan Shearer to score. If you're going to be like that type of number 9, you have to be like him. And holding the most goals ever, you got to put him in the GOAT category.
Alan Shearer is the first real one to go in the GOAT category. Definitely. So, Sergio Aguero, another current player, magnificent striker. Who has caused, again, Liverpool many, especially all these external players, all players that aren't coming from us. I'm like, this guy's caused me great pain.
Yeah, what can I say about him? If not for being injured, I would back myself to say, and I'll back him, to say that he was, or he will be, the greatest Premier League striker ever. But, unfortunately, he picked up a few injuries. I would have to say he goes in the GOAT category for me as well.
Jermaine Defoe got an unbelievable record in the Premier League. Still going at Rangers now.
I love him. He's probably one of, if not my favourite striker, personality-wise and on the pitch. In terms of like a real number 9, especially how big he is. He probably defied all the odds in terms of, he's too small and this and that, but that didn't let him, stop him. So he didn't win anything, and also he wasn't really part of any big moments. Even though I love him, and like I said, he's one of my favorite players, I'd have to put him in average, potentially moving down if there's not enough space.
We'll go to Nicolas Anelka. He's played here, there, and everywhere. Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City.
Yeah, watched the documentary the other month and learned a little bit more about him. What for me anyway, as a footballer, looking at him, like, I know exactly what I'm seeing. I know what type of player, person he kind of was. Feel like it's just too much politics off the pitch, which affected, on the pitch, especially playing time as well. Crazy that he did win the Golden Boot, but I feel like could have just done so much more, and for his ability, and a bit of a disappointment. I would say Naff.
We're going alongside Berbatov, 2 tremendously talented players as well. But it's part of the game, mate. It's part of the game. So next up, we're going to go to Thierry Henry.
Really and truly, there's not really much to say, is there? Just someone where such a joy to watch, probably hell on earth to play against. Someone where I don't know if you remember, but when I was growing up, there used to be a thing called a teletext.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and teletext, like, you'd look at all the scores from the games and like everything like that. It'd be like the equivalent to, I don't even know if there's equivalent. You can go on your phone.
It's
literally teletext used to come up, and every time I used to see teletext, I used to see Thierry Henry minute something. I think the pace and strength, that was just like a cheat code, because his actual footballing ability was also better than everyone else's. So I would say Thierry Henry, no lower than GOAT.
Ian Wright, another Arsenal legend. You can see the pain in his eyes.
Like, he came up obviously around about the era of like Fowler, Cole. I think he had a little bit more than them. Someone where he was raw. Someone where his finishing ability, I feel like, is very underrated. Doesn't get spoken about enough. All types of finishes, especially that dink over the keeper. Would run the whole pitch sometimes as well. And you got to remember, in those days as well, they're hacking at your knees, your legs, your calves, but I think for now, I don't think he's moving out of lethal.
Les Ferdinand, another one from around this sort of time.
Yeah.
What are we saying for him?
Yeah, he was part of that, that time where England had all those strikers, just who I just mentioned. And I feel like he wasn't one of the best ones out of the lot. Probably he wasn't better than his peers. So I would say, I don't know what's coming next. That's the thing. He's even average enough. I don't know what's coming next, but I can move him. So I'm gonna say average.
Okay, so Les Ferdinand going into average. Robbie Keane is coming next, mate.
Okay.
Another player experienced at Liverpool for 6 months. I actually little anecdote again, as per usual. You always get one with me. He was on my first ever shirt that I ever got. I had the Liverpool silver kit from 2008 to 2009. I know you remember that kit as a Man United fan, and it will haunt you forever. And I had Robbie Keane on the back. So that's a cool story. But yeah, Robbie Keane, mate.
He was a good player, very good player. Had a very good career. Very similar to, I'd say, similar boat as like Les Ferdinand, who just mentioned. Just because he's not one of my favorites, like Defoe, him and Defoe, you know, very iconic. Him and Berbatov, very iconic. But I would say he was more like Berbatov, like for me anyway. So I'm gonna say Naff.
You've got 4 strikers left. So Didier Drogba, mate. Pain. I can feel the pain because he was so good. Oh.
Oh my God. Well, I'm gonna move him. I know where I'm gonna move him. I'm gonna move him to Lethal after this. But yeah, big game player. I'm gonna put him in average for now, but he's gonna get moved to Lethal. How many I got in average again?
You've got 1 left in average, 2 left in decent, and 2 left in Naff, and 2 left in GOAT.
Sorry. I'm gonna put him in decent.
You're gonna put him in decent, yeah, I thought so. Yeah. So 3 left. We're gonna go Wayne Rooney.
Well, I wouldn't say one of. I would say the reason why I fell in love with Man United, and I fell in love with football. Period. You know, just his evolution as a striker in general. Played every type of role as a striker you can play. Nearly the all-time Premier League goal scorer. I think if he just didn't, with him, he started too young, you know. And when you start too young, you burn out later on in your career. So for me, one of my favorite players of all time. He's got a golden goat for me.
Romelu Lukaku is the penultimate one. Absolutely ridiculous on his day.
Yeah.
Unbelievable goal record. Where's he going for you? There's 1 player left. So.
And there's like 3 spots left.
There's one in GOAT, 2 in Naff, and 1 in decent, and 1 in average.
Left-footed player. Left-footed strikers, they always look, I don't know, just a little bit like better normally. I would say he's got 2 sides to his game where he's 2 different players. One where he's facing the opposition goal and he's running with the ball and just going at the goal. He's scary. Like, I would hate to play against him. He someone who I played with, you know, told me that when they played against him in the Premier League, it was just a nightmare to play against, and he tore that person a new backside. that was that player's 5th Premier League game as well, and I don't think he played again.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I don't think he played again, and he was only young as well. I think underrated in terms of, you know, what he does contribute to the team. Yeah, just for what he's doing in the Premier League purposes, I'm gonna say average. I'm gonna say
average. To finish it off, we mentioned that 4-1 at Old Trafford, and I couldn't leave this man out. He's my favourite player of all time, Fernando Torres. Now, like, just for pure love and bias, I would put him in GO, but I know that's not where he really belongs. But where are you going for Fernando Torres, mate?
Fernando Torres, just like many strikers. I think it's a striker thing, you know, where they just come and go, where they just have a glimpse of brilliance for like 3 seasons and go. I think as a striker, well, testament to myself, because I am a striker, it's not easy to, you know, keep up good numbers, especially if you know, you're in and out of the team and whatnot. But him, you know, he was a main player, he was a key player, the superstar for Liverpool, you know. But the thing that does it for me, where I'm not quite sure about him, is a lot of players who played with him, I think, were shocked that Chelsea paid, at the time, was a ridiculous amount of money, 50 million for him. which was like sounds today, which is like nothing, like peanuts, but back then was like a lot of money. So
I think he just lost that yard of like electric pace that he had. Which I don't think Chelsea really saw that. I just think they saw, right, let's get Torres off Liverpool.
You know, if I was just to hear Fernando Torres, what category would I put him in general in the Premier League? I would say decent, but I don't think
you've got one space in decent.
So if he's the last player, I'm gonna put him in decent, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. So there we go, mate. You have gone through all of our players. I'll take you through what you've done, and we'll see what movements you'd like to make, if any. So in Naff, we've got Berbatov, Anelka, and Keane. In average, Dwight York, Jamie Vardy, Jermaine Defoe, Les Ferdinand, and Romelu Lukaku. In decent, Mo Salah, Michael Owen, Robin van Persie, Didier Drogba, and Fernando Torres. In lethal, you got Andy Cole, Luis Suarez, Harry Kane, Robbie Fowler, and Ian Wright. And then in GOAT, you've got Alan Shearer, Sergio Aguero, Wayne Rooney, and Thierry Henry.
Well, I think the easiest thing for me to do, as I've got 4 in GOAT, if that's
you got one more place in GOAT.
So I'm gonna have to move someone from decent,
from lethal
into GOAT category. And if I remember, in lethal, I have Harry Kane,
Suarez,
Fowler,
and Andy Cole.
I'm gonna say Suarez is gonna move up.
You're gonna put Luis Suarez up into GOAT. Okay, yeah. that's a good. I think that's a good decision personally.
Yeah.
So that leaves a space in lethal if you want to move someone up from decent. It's gonna be like a parade.
Well, I might actually move someone even. I might even though I have everyone, done already, but I'm saying I might even move someone down.
Oh.
Didier Drogba has to go in lethal.
Okay.
Yeah. So in lethal, we now have
Andy Cole, Robbie Fowler, Ian Wright, Harry Kane, and Didier Drogba.
I feel like I need to move Jamie Vardy up.
You're going to move Jamie Vardy up. He's making his way back up the ranks after being.
Yeah. He's got to be up. He's got to be up there. Just by, he's been doing this for like 5 years now, and not a lot of people.
Pretty decent. So then you got York, Ferdinand, Lukaku, and Defoe, and then in Naff you've got Berbatov, Anelka, and Keane. I'm gonna
move Anelka up one.
Move Anelka up one. So there we go. That puts them all. You got 5 in each of them, and then 2 in the bottom one. I think that's pretty decent, mate. You got off scot-free there.
Yeah. I feel like the 2 at the bottom, I'm sorry, they have greater careers than I do. Maybe I ever will, but just for the sake of the game, they got to be in the bottom.
Thank you very much for joining us, Jordan. And go and check out our interview with Jordan in a little bubble thing up here somewhere. Where can we find you and your channel on Twitter?
So Twitter, footy2581 on Twitter, on Instagram, footy258 _ my personal account, Jordan Antonio Brown, on Instagram, Facebook. And if you want to see some of my goals and my highlights, you can check it on YouTube as well. Hopefully I can be back on there, sharing some content with you guys as well.
Definitely, mate, definitely. And I'm sure we'll get Jordan back on to do some more professional football tier lists and put him through some severe pain once again, which is what we like to do. Make sure you subscribe to TotalSport. Right. Do it right now, because it's absolutely free and it helps us all out, doesn't it? So thank you very much for watching, everyone, and we will see you next time.